man, how do you stay on track? How do you stay motivated? How do you stay on top of the things that you know that you're supposed to be on top of? Normally, I do a really good job of staying on top of the different goals and the different habits that I have. But recently, and it seems to be something that I tend to do during the winter time for some reason, I seem to get more lazy, become more lazy. I get way less steps on my Fitbit. I don't run as much. My cardio's down because I don't like running outside when it's wet, cold, and I don't want to slip and bust my ass. But by letting myself not be as disciplined on my runs, on my workouts, on everything that I'm supposed to be on top of, which is just my baseline normal. Since I haven't been on top of that, my mental starts to decline too, because we're creatures of habits. It's always really good to have habits that you do every day, especially in the morning. A morning routine is the best, especially when it comes to mental health and physical health. So I've been slacking a lot on my physical health because I haven't been going to the gym. I haven't been doing as much cardio as I would normally do. Now, I had a conversation with myself yesterday, Sunday, and I told myself today, we're getting back to normal. We're getting back to it. I have to at least get some cardio in, and I have to hit the gym just a little bit. Every single day this week, I'm going to be back on top of my stuff so that I can progressively add new habits and get myself ready and try to be more prepared for the real world. Because in the real world, if you're more in shape, you're more capable of being on top of things as it is anyway. It helps your mental, and it helps my mental, making sure that I am staying active. Staying active is one of the most important things for me. It helps me. What's that saying? There's a saying. I forget what the saying's called though. It's I think it's the idle hands are the devil's workplace or something like that. It makes sense though, because the idle hands is the devil's mind, or idle hand, something like that. You guys get the point. The point is, if you're being lazy, if you're sitting around and you're not really doing much, you do not feel productive and you don't feel good. You don't feel like you're doing something to better yourself, better your life, better your position in life. So in my head, when I'm more active and I have a lot of things going on, I'm way more happy. I'm way more likely to, let me throw on my mask real quick. I'm about to go take a walk here in Baltimore City, and you're gonna come with me as we keep talking. But I'm about to go to work, but I wanted to do this quick video before I got out there because I figured it was a good little conversation we can have before I go to work and I have to do my thing. All right, this, double check, make sure I got everything. You got everything. All right, cool. So being more active, staying on top of your shit or whatever it is, it helps. I saw a great quote the other day where it said, I gotta shut my moonroof. That's all right, we'll leave it. Now, what was the quote? I'm forgetting what we were talking about. So anyway, it was, I forget what the damn quote was. Maybe I can go back in the video and see. But you go back to the devil's, idle hands is the devil's workplace or something like that. And it makes sense. Because you need to be active. You need to feel like you're actually working on something. You feel like you're getting better, especially getting that little bit of progress that you can get. A little bit of progress. And let's see. Try to remember what exactly we're talking about here. All right, cool. So I feel it's much better in the long run to build on top of your habits, to stay on your habits, keep them as simple as possible. Try not to make them too overly complicated. Start with the morning habits. My morning habits are taking a 30-minute walk as soon as I get up, which I stopped doing because it started getting too cold and I didn't feel like preparing myself for the cold. But at a certain point, that's irrelevant. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be cold no matter what. What am I going to do? Do this every time? Am I going to... Hold on. Timer was going off. Am I going to do this every single time, though? Every single time? No. Every single time it's cold, you're going to avoid it every time? You're just going to go. Just go. Half the time you can go. But the problem is when I let myself get a little lazy, it gets more and more easier to be lazy. It's easy. It's very easy. Our brains and our bodies want to make you want to take the simplest path to conserve your calories for the day because, throughout the majority of our history as humans, it's been complicated trying to find calories and keep calories. So we want to burn them all as much as we can, and you want to save the calories. So our brains are designed to try to find the shortcuts. And it's not a bad thing. It is a good thing to save yourself the energy. But in the long run, if you're taking shortcuts for everything and your habit is to take shortcuts, well, then there's not always a shortcut. Sometimes you have to take the long way. If you take the long way, you have to make sure you're prepared for it. In order to be prepared for it, you have to be doing your habits. You have to be doing your normal things that you do every day to prepare you for when things do get complicated, when things do get tough. So this week, I'm going to be working on a bunch of my older habits that I was doing pretty regularly, starting with the cardio every day. We'll do cardio every day and some weightlifting 3 to 4 times a week, which is pretty basic stuff for me. Sometimes I'll lift weights, every day of the week. I know how to manage it properly to where I'm not overworking. You don't want to overwork yourself too. You have to be strategic with your training strategies. But with that being said, I think that the point of this video is more about, it's more so for myself too, so that I can motivate myself to make sure that I'm not being lazy. Because ever since the new year, ever since the holidays, and I think that the holidays was probably a catalyst that messed up everything. Well, didn't mess everything up, but that was the catalyst for me to progressively become more and more lazy. And I don't mean lazy in a sense of not doing your work and taking care of your responsibilities, but more so lazy in the sense of working on bettering yourself, working on the self-development. I haven't been focused as much as I should be on my own personal self-development because I got lazy. Instead of taking a walk and practicing my language that I'm studying, I don't do that. I sit on my ass. Instead of going to the gym and lifting and having a good deadlift day, sit on my ass and think about how good it feels to sit on my ass in the nice, warm apartment. But nothing can ever touch how you feel when you get done, when you actually finish your workout, when you accomplish your little daily goals, your little daily routines. That's just something that's going to help add on to that positive momentum that you need every single day. And that's what we need, man. This is all about momentum. This is all about building momentum and then stacking those habits on top, and then stacking the habits on top, and then stacking the habits on top. And as long as we're relentless with that pursuit, you can make it happen. But it just gets very complicated because that's not how life is. You can never predict exactly what people are going to throw at you, what the world's going to throw at you, what you're going to throw at yourself by accident. Sometimes you want to throw something away and it'll come right back, hit you right in the goddamn head. And then you have to handle that. So it does get complicated. But at the end of the day, guys, work on these little habits. And when it comes to motivating yourself, sometimes it's not as easy as just saying, oh, I'm motivated, and then going and doing it. Sometimes you need to change things up, especially if you've been doing the same routine over and over repeatedly for a while. Maybe attempt to create a new routine to freshen things up. Keep yourself guessing, keep everybody else guessing. Reinvent yourself, reinvent your workouts, reinvent the way that you look at things, reinvent the way that you look at the world. That's all we can do. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a good one. This was a fun little episode down here in downtown Baltimore, but I'll be doing some more walk and talks like this because it's what we're good at, right? See you all tomorrow.